Hey everybody, it's Chris Caddo, your Chief Performance Partner and the author of Premiership Business. Now today I'm at Singapore Airport, transiting through like millions of people do each year on my way to somewhere else. And this is the home of Singapore Airlines, undoubtedly one of the best performing airlines over the last 30 or 40 years. Now Singapore Airlines are great because they're very good at doing two things, leveraging their people and leveraging their assets. Now if you think about Singapore Airlines and how they leverage their people, not just from managing their human resources but also their branding, one of the key branding tools or catchphrases that they have had over the last 40 odd years, 30 odd years is Singapore girl, a great way to fly. Now, I know they don't use that anymore, but that was central to their marketing for a very long time. But that does two things. That leverages their people in terms of the pride in their work, and just bear with me while I go over this bump, this travelator. Leverages their people and their pride in their work, and it also helps motivate their staff, having a sense of belonging to a brand and a belonging to a company which is more than just an airline. So Singapore Girl, a great way to fly, was one of the great tools that they used to leverage their people and leverage their brand and their service quality, because they're positioning themselves as a high service, full service airline. Now the other thing which Singapore Airlines has done really well over the last 30-40 years is leveraging their assets. Now probably very few people would know that Singapore Airlines was one of the few airlines in the 70s that used to fly a Concorde. That's right, a Concorde. They leased a Concorde for a short period of time, used to fly it between Singapore and the Middle East, but that just goes to show the nature of the business. And then if you went into the 80s, they used to brand their stretched upper deck 747s to big top. So they used to brand their assets and leverage their assets and literally market it as a brand identity and a unique proposition. And then when they had the 747-400s, they used to call that the mega top and brand that as well. And more recently, they were the launch customer for the A380, and soon they'll be one of the biggest customers for the A350, which is Airbus's latest aircraft. So as you can see there, they're very particular and very cunning in the way they use their assets to position themselves, not only by having the best assets available and investing in the best assets available, but leveraging it as a marketing exercise to tell the world that that's part of the reason why you want to fly with Singapore Airlines. So how do you, the question I have for you is, how do you leverage your people and leverage your assets to get the most out of the branding of your company and the branding of the people around you? Because there are opportunities that are sitting in front of you. So, oops, just went over a bump there. So I challenge you to have a think about, how do you leverage your people? How do you leverage your assets to make the most out of your brand exercise and get the best out of the people around you and position your brand to grow as fast and as well as Singapore Airlines has over the last 30 years? Because the principles apply to small companies or big companies. You don't have to be a global dominator. You can be the best in your region and the best in your particular class and category. So how do you position yourself? How do you leverage your people? How do you leverage your assets? Bye for now.